video 18 of the rock excavation exercise and the final video in this series. We are on step number 123 of the manual. It says open the end area volume tool and load the MoDOT preferences. So I'll navigate over to the tool, click the end area volume tool. It loads up, and I will check my preferences right off the bat. The preferences we'll choose is MoDOT, load, and close. And we still have this feature. If you minimize this, it won't pop up next time. First thing I want to do is match my cross-section model to the banner name of the window that I have open, and of course it's the only one in there because I created a new file. But if you don't, you have multiple models, so you want to keep track of that. Next thing I want to look at is make sure I have existing ground, my rock surface, my substratum, and my design, my proposed information. So that's loaded. That was step number 124. Step number 125. Step number 125 is we got to change some stuff in the classifications again. So we'll go down to the classifications tab or leaf. And in here, we're going to change our multiplication factors. So we're going to change our cut for the existing ground to 0.87 as we've done before. And then we're going to go to the cut factor for the rock surface, and we're going to use a 1.1. So those are in there in step number 125. Step number 126, we're going to have some added quantities. We had some from before, but we didn't know the exact station, and we calculated the volume that we were filling with, but now we have an exact station, so I recalculated everything and I got different volume numbers. So our first station will be the 74 3476, and these stations are in there because we created a key station, so the cross section was generated for that key station. Again, it's a fill. And then the volume is going to be 5883. So I'm just going to add that information in. And then we're going to change the next station, which is 81 plus 02, 0.94. That's in there, and our fill volume will be 5365. So I'll add that in there as well. And that completes step number 126 and brings us to step number 127. 127 is probably the easiest step in the whole book. Hit the apply button. So we'll go down and hit the apply button. Again, per our settings, it's going to create a XML report and kick it out for us. So in that XML report, we can see all the information all the way down to our mass ordinate on the right side. I'm going to change it to the one I like, this volume one. If I select it, you can see what it's got. And here you've got different breakdowns of it per station. And you can see your totals, what your totals end up having to be. And then once you're finished with this report, you can close it out. Again, you can also right click on it and save it as Excel. And then when you're finished with this part, we'll go ahead and close our end area volumes. And you'll also notice that we have our shapes out here, our color. You'll see rock where there's rock now. And if I turn off the minors and maybe even the majors, you can see it much better how it's going to go out there, calculate your earthwork. And it also gives you a shape for rock. And it's also calculated in your XML report. So you've got all this information. And that pretty much concludes step number 18, which also concludes the end area volume tool rock excavation exercise.